What do you get when you splice the DNA of a wannabe geneticist, a beautiful British chick with a slight case of shrimp lips, and an oversized watermelon? You get a hell of a freaky fish movie. It's like we stepped in something that we can't quite get off our shoes. Gear up your slime-filled super soakers and aim towards the chicks in the back. It's time to get weird. Cue the music.
And in 3, 2, 1, I already forgot it.
You will be soon as big as a giant, or like all the others, dead.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
That's feng shui.
A match made in a bathroom. Just floating into the void.
This movie...
Do you think gloopy movies are our favorite kind of movies?
Maybe so, because I really enjoyed this. I don't think I enjoyed it this much when I watched it back in the 80s.
I certainly don't remember. I mean, obviously, Amanda Plummer. I always say Amanda Plummer. Amanda Pays.
Right.
Maybe it's because her name is just kind of weird. Not a lot of last name Pays people.
Right.
Can you think of one?
No.
Isaac Pays?
Nope, that's Isaac Hayes.
Oh. You see what I'm dealing with here.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, her transformation.
That's all I remember.
Man, we'll get to it. But there's so much more good stuff, you know? Okay, so that is the one thing that I really didn't get down is where was this in relation to all the movies that it stole from, you know? I mean, there's so they're just squishing together so many movies. Like,
oh yeah,
there's Reanimator, of course. I would say that that's the most egregious one, you know.
Yeah, with the whatever Rod Steiger was probing.
What do you think that was?
I don't know.
Fish cat. From the angle, it never really shows you, does it?
No.
From the angle, you of course see something coated in KY because literally everything in this movie, his fedora at the end is floating in KY. But it looks like one of those, what are those, like sea cucumbers? Or they look like big penises, kind of?
Right, that's yeah.
It was like that taped to a cat. That's what he was working on in his weird little lab.
A gooey duck.
Was that at the hospital? Okay, let's just go ahead and... I'm sorry, but...
I've got so much to talk about because this was a great, fun freaking movie.
I very much enjoyed it.
I made the connection to it because I wanted to see it again, really.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I'd seen this back in the 80s.
Oh.
And I hadn't paid attention to it since, but I was reading that it hasn't been available.
Right. Yeah.
On DVD. It's not,
No.
It has not been released. It said in 2017 there was an attempt to get it released on DVD, but I don't think it happened because of some legal mumbo jumbo. Who knows?
Yeah.
I can only assume Eddie Murphy had something to do with it.
Oh, interesting. I read a review of it from not back in the day, but it was, you know, I think it was in the 90s looking back at some weird movies, but they were talking about Synapse Films releasing it at some point, and I just didn't even look it up. I could have, but I didn't. But I am now. But yeah, if anything, I mean, it really deserves a release because, God, you watched it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's the only place I could find it.
It would take a mediocre movie and make it, you know, great. That was our only, you know, problem with it, is that we couldn't quite see what was going on sometimes.
Yeah, it was pretty dark.
Yeah.
This is a very degraded copy.
Oh, yeah. It's awful.
But truthfully, how many movies back in the day, back in the 80s, did we watch that looked just like this?
Sitting like 6 inches away from the TV.
Messing with the tracking button on your VCR. Just
Yeah. I think we are just spoiled,
We are.
I'm on Synapse website here. I'm going to find it. They have Hot Dog the Movie on Blu-ray.
All right. That made it on Blu-ray, but not this. I want to know what's holding it up. I can't find it. There's hardly anything on Wikipedia.
It's Rod Steiger's estate, and they're just like, please don't release this. He's so awful in it. He's the real monster of this film.
Definitely.
God, he's so creepy.
Hey, maybe we should tell our audience what we're actually watching this week.
Oh, yeah,
we're watching
sure.
The Kindred.
You know what? If you don't know already,
yeah,
we'll tell you. I was going to say something worse,
but this was 1987, which is actually a lot newer than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
When I was watching this the other night, the first thing that came to my mind was the Boogans.
Yeah.
I think it did steal some from the Boogans.
Sure.
You know how I have such an affinity for the Boogans.
Yeah.
And I know you love the way I say the Boogans.
Yes, it is. You're really leaning into that ooh part now. Like you're doing that on purpose. Boogans. The Boogans.
The Boogans.
So I'm just kind of quietly in the background doing
your taxes.
I'm just looking at all these other fish movies and see. So 80 looks like 89 was the Ocean.
Billy Ocean?
Yeah, Billy Ocean. Joe Pesci. Yeah, so 89 was Deep Star 6 and Leviathan.
Which was Amanda Pays.
Oh, right. Yeah, she was on fire in the late 80s. And I think that, watching it, that's probably a big reason I wanted to see it again, is because I probably had a crush on her.
Oh, yeah.
From Max Headroom days.
I can crush your crush right now if you'd like.
Yeah, go.
Amanda Pays is married to Corbin Burnson.
Oh, I knew that. The dentist.
Since 1988, a year after this. He saw this. He was like, man, I got to get me some fishy chick.
Yep. I got to get my Corb on? No. He's got such a stupid name. Yeah, that's fine. I've moved on.
Okay.
I didn't put, so much thought into movies back then, but the girl from Revenge of the Nerds is also...
yes.
So I looked her up, and then that sent me down a spiral of just titty movies.
So much to talk about.
Yeah. I got back to Hots. Do you remember Hots?
Oh, no, I did not get there.
She's in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But we know her best as Lisa from Up the Creek.
Yeah, of course.
We'll go down a big, long dive on her. I've got so many connections that sent me down so many different pathways. I wish I would have spent 2 more days researching because there is so many avenues.
There's a lot in and around this movie at the time that I went down some very strange, gooey holes.
Gooey holes. And that's how we start off every episode.
Yeah, strange, gooey holes. It's like a voice exercise.
Right.
Strange, gooey holes. Strange, gooey holes. It is kind of hard to say. Strange, gooey holes. Strange, gooey holes. The words don't make sense after a little while.
No, they don't. They're just sounds.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's what words are, just sounds.
Guttural sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, welcome to the moratorium.
Oh, hi.
Come on in, sit down on that slimy seat.
Yep, that stain is fresh.
There are hoses just bursting with gloop all over the place.
When they cut into a tentacle later on that just spray it like super sloppy, like double dare sprays the girls in the back. They're like 6 feet away, and he's really like, you get the feeling that actor's kind of turning it on him a little bit,
Yeah.
I bet they had fun making this.
This is probably where Nickelodeon got its idea for sure. Many episodes of...
You can't do that on television? Is that what you were looking for?
All right. I'm Tim Kornman, and with me as always is Slime
enthusiast,
slime scientist,
I like to think of myself as a slime scientist. A slime-tist. I mean, we just recently did a fish movie. What category do you think that this is in?
The moratorium category.
Because it does have elements of Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a big transformation in it, so...
It kind of comes off as an episode of like Criminal Minds.
Interesting.
They're going to find research of our main character, John Hollins. His mom, I guess, is this scientist. It's poorly set up that way.
All of that stuff where she's in the hospital is pretty insane. She wakes up basically and sees him, and she's like, "You didn't pull the plug?" Well, no, you seemed fine. You seem like nothing even happened. Yeah. She told him, "Do not resuscitate." That's like if she fell asleep and you're like, it's better this way. She wouldn't want to wake up from this.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't actually have a good relationship with his mom. He kind of fell apart. Doing his own research. She was doing her own research.
Right.
He said he hadn't been to the house in 5 years.
Like 6 years or something.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem... Does he not agree with what she's doing? He doesn't even know what she's doing, I don't think.
No.
Maybe she's just a bitch.
But he's also a scientist doing what? What is he doing?
I don't know, because he seems like a real dum-dum kind of, I mean, he's a doctor, I assume, right?
Sure.
I don't know what he does.
He wants to be William Catt.
Yeah, I get that kind of. He looks like any guy in any, like any handsome dude in any movie back then. Also, he looks like, I forgot about the opening, which is the Porsche on the wet road. And he looks like that guy. Those two guys are interchangeable. I could not tell you if that was the main character or someone else.
I think the confusion with that opening could be that how many freaking writers they had on this film.
Yeah.
All right. There's Stephen Carpenter, Jeffrey Obro, John Penny, Earl Gaffari, and Joseph Stefano.
Oh. So it starts off with a dude in a Porsche flying down a wet highway.
Mm-hmm. And this kind of gives you the idea that he's the main character, but he's not. He's just a...
he's just a douchebag.
Just a douchebag.
Yeah. Kind of looks like our main character,
Yeah.
So he is really tailgating this like old man in a truck.
I mean, he's inches away from his bumper.
I thought he was going to try like the pit maneuver or something on him or something. And then he pulls up beside him. And it's like a guy and his wife. Could you make out what he said? Because
no.
It sounded like he said like, "Scrap 'em, flap 'em, pops." I'm like, what? Scrap 'em, flap 'em.
That's my new catchphrase.
He definitely calls him pops, but I couldn't hear what he said before that. Like 2 seconds later, screams and then dies.
Yes. Well, no, he's still alive.
Oh, that's right.
But there's a house in the road, and isn't there a song about this?
I think so.
Our house in the middle of the street.
Seems like a bad place to put a house, but that scene, it is in the middle of nowhere on like a dark road, and there are people mingling around. Like, I was like, are they included in the crash?
There were no cones, there were no lights.
Nope.
Just a house in the middle of the street.
Yes.
I guess there was one line that said something. Yeah, that it was like a radio broadcast or something. Yeah, the house kind of fell off of the.
Yeah, kind of.
It was being moved and fell because everybody moves houses in the middle of the night with big rigs.
It was that plot specific radio that we always hear, like explaining like Walter Dini's dead.
And how did Walter Dini die again?
In a like ATV, they make it sound like he was riding a 4-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
This is I cannot see John Saxon
I can see him in a four-wheeler, but not have an accident.
Yeah.
It's like the four-wheeler was totally disintegrated and he walked out with a little bit of dust on his shoulder.
Exactly. Unless, like, what's the other guy's name?
Mastretta.
Mastretta. Unless Mastretta put a fucking bomb on his four-wheeler or something.
All right. And if our audience is paying attention, yes, that is the first but not only Mitchell reference that we will have in this episode.
Right.
It breaks this down like really, really fast. So the ambulance shows up to grab this guy out of his car. You know, oh, he's still alive. Right. And they put him in the ambulance and they start wheeling him away. It looked like he just had a bandage on his like forehead or something.
I mean, he's like
just
covered in blood.
His car exploded.
Yeah, blew up. He screamed like a woman.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine screaming before my death. What do you think?
It depends on what is coming at me.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
It was just a mobile home. It looked like he could have driven through it, like in Dukes of Hazzard or something.
Or Twister, you know?
Yeah, right.
He drove up the staircase and out the other window.
Exactly. Why didn't he just try that?
Yeah. Just channel your nearest Bill Paxton and just punch it.
Yeah. The guy driving the ambulance, if I saw him, I would be like, can we just wait for somebody else or leave me here? Because I'm for sure going to die in this ambulance. That guy looked like he was huffing paint or something.
Yeah.
He does not seem normal.
So a car or a truck of some sort runs the ambulance off the road.
Yes.
The driver says something like, does he look like he's going to live? Will he ever wake up? I think he asked something like that. You think he's going to wake up?
The guy's like, I don't fucking know. He hasn't even been like...
We have not put an EKG on him.
There's the steps you've got to go
I'm getting
through.
paid $13 an hour to stick people with syringes. I mean...
Yeah, this is above my pay grade for you to ask me how long he's going to... So it was all, kind of a plan. This guy's working with this other dude to steal bodies.
For Rod Steiger.
Oh my God, dude. He gave the most eccentric performance of his career. He's always kind of been weird, I think he, just in a long tradition of big, doughy guys. I mean, he's not that far from Charles Durning, you know?
No, I would go over there.
He's like Charles Durning's brother or something that is addicted to butane or something.
Rod Steiger was born in 1925.
Jesus.
So he was 62 when he made this movie.
Can you imagine him as a kid?
No. What would he look like as a kid?
Just like a miniature Rod Steiger. You know what I mean? Those big glasses on. I'm not looking it up. I will say while you're looking it up that his mom, the woman that wants him to pull the plug every time she takes a nap, is that is Kim Hunter.
Yes.
And she played Stella in Streetcar Named Desire, the movie with Marlon Brando, who also, I think Rod Steiger is going to the Marlon Brando method acting school. So weird. So they've got this kind of thing going on, this guy in a Jeep. You never see him again. No. But he's a basic, kind of paid ghoul that will you find out later, I guess, is getting specimens for Rod Steiger,
Good word. Good. Specimens.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of specimens later on in this movie. The guy that plays Brad being the biggest one. So,
but I do have to hand him to him because that was interesting that you didn't know exactly what was happening when the driver of the ambulance is just kind of slumped over the steering wheel and just kind of...
Yeah, but still awake.
Playing hurt.
Yeah.
And the guy gets him out of the car and the driver won't face him.
Right.
And he's like, you got to turn around, man. This is the way it's got to be. He's like, no, you almost broke my jaw once.
Right. So this has happened more than once.
Yes. So he smacks him really hard and then throws, just lets it rain a few dollars on him.
He kind of does kind of fan him out over his back after he knocks him out.
After he loads the guy into the back of his truck.
Yeah. He carries that guy away like
potatoes.
I don't know. I just thought it was kind of odd. After we see the guy stealing bodies, which seems like an inefficient way to... It seems so convoluted, like... Did he have like a scanner to try to get just the perfect like situation, where he's near death or he's suffered some kind of like head injury?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter in the long run. But anyway, so there is a scene before we get back to Rod Steiger and the cat thing where his mom is telling him she forgot that she had a experiment going on.
Oh, yeah. She just
at her house in the woods.
Like, oh, I'm still alive. Oh, wait a minute.
It's like she left the iron on or something.
Yeah. Our main character, David Allen Brooks is his name. Uh-huh. He's working at a place called Geneticist.
There's a lot of names that I was looking through, just to see if they were like actual like medical type like terms and stuff. Mm-hmm. Where is he talking about like prions or something?
Oh yeah, they throw out a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
but I did look up what they were talking about was the fish goop,
the MacGuffin of the movie.
This protein was found just in fish.
Yeah.
And I didn't even write it down, but I did look it up, but it said it was found in invertebrates.
It's kind of hard to hear. They're either saying hemocybin, it's hemocybin.
It's like that.
Yeah. Cyberfish or something.
It's hemocyanin. Here, I'll read it straight off of Wikipedia here. Hemocyanins are proteins that transport oxygen throughout the bodies of some invertebrate animals.
It's just the glowing goo in Reanimator. Yeah. It's just what we're working with here. The science is pretty fishy in this movie.
So our main character, what is his name? Come on.
John Hollins.
He gets a call saying his mother was in a coma. Did he know that she was sick and in the hospital before and she just woke up?
Oh, that's right. Because his girlfriend does say something like she's awake or something like that.
So they run to the hospital to go see her, but Rod Steiger is at the hospital.
Yeah. And they're like yelling down the hallway to each other. Like they're like 30 feet away.
It's okay. It's just in the middle of the night. People are trying to sleep.
Yeah. What? It's like midnight when all this happens. It almost looks like Laszlo Honeywell.
Okay. Yeah.
Where the opening to his lab is like a janitor's closet, but then he goes down and there's like he's got this whole like underground freak lair.
Yeah. At the hospital.
Yes, at the hospital. He has like a dungeon at the hospital.
Yeah.
That they don't explain at all. And also, he has the worst hair toupee.
You don't like his glasses either, do you?
Oh, those glasses are insane. Kind of looks like if Archie Bunker and like Stephen Root had a baby or something.
Okay. So no. I think they're both working at the geneticist lab. The geneticist
It really
lab.
top loads you with a lot of information right at the beginning that you kind of don't need to know.
Rod Steiger and Jerry or Johnny, or what's his name? Steve?
John. It's like the most common name.
So they're both working in the same lab. They're not in the hospital. They are closely working on maybe the same type of shit.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't know. Yes, they are. They're like studying that drug or whatever, or that
protein.
Whatever that thing is, protein. Answer unclear.
Yes.
I do not know what their relationship is. But then later on, he seems like he's kind of like, the reanimator to like his mom's, like, it seems like they're both doing some kind of fucked up research, but like Rod Steiger's taking it to the next level with all those freaks and stuff. At some point, somebody calls Rod Steiger's character a well poisoner.
All right.
What does that mean? When John's mom wakes up, she said, "Did I hurt anybody?"
Yeah.
Did you catch that line?
That was odd.
If she's meaning, did she hurt somebody herself, then that is never explained.
No.
She could have said, did he hurt anybody? Which would have made more sense. Because you find out, she tells John, this is the whole plot of the movie, is he's got to go out to her secret lab.
Which is in her farmhouse, way out in God knows where.
Yeah, and when they get there, it is a real, like, ramshackle, like, it looks kind of Evil Dead-ish.
Oh, yeah.
There's more Evil Dead stuff a little later on. This is post-Evil Dead, right? What is this, 87?
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a great place to have a secret laboratory where you're doing I mean, you know what you don't need in your secret lab? Old, unfinished wooden floors, You're going to need tile for that type of work.
When she finally it plays this exposition of, oh my God, you got to go to my house and stop the experiment.
Yeah. Stop Anthony.
Yes. She mentions the name Anthony, but
Anthony.
He says the same thing. He's like, well, who's Anthony?
The fuck's Anthony?
It's your brother.
Yeah. There's just an Italian at the house.
So she had a coronary or an accident at her house and they carted her away. How long has she been in the hospital? It didn't give any information, but it was long enough that when they get to the house later, that the electricity is off, the phone is exactly cut off. So we're thinking months.
Yeah, at least a month for you to lapse on your electric bill or whatever. Yeah, that was really weird later on because I didn't hear them set that up. But yeah, there was a generator that was keeping. That also seems like you've got all this stuff frozen in like these giant coolers and stuff. I'm thinking you'd want to jack into like the grid for that instead of just spending thousands of dollars on gasoline to just like keep it going. You
have live specimens in jars that have not had electricity for a couple of months.
Right.
They're dead.
And a guy named Anthony, probably like...
Anthony.
His name's Tony.
Tony
the fish. Hey! Tony the fish!
After that, we jump cut to Rod Steiger back in the lab with that specimen. I'm looking at the X-ray, the poorly crude drawing.
That's not even
X-ray.
Yeah, he's got one program running, and it's like, yes, this is a cat. Is the cat developing like spines, like a puffer fish or something?
I don't know.
I don't want to know.
It is weird,
and they don't even really. A lot of these movies. This is going to cure cancer or this is going to make us like live forever or something. And I don't know. Do they ever establish what they're trying to do?
Oh, it seemed like that they were trying to create this protein that was to enhance the lives of people. Oh, don't know.
Man.
I don't know. Or they're trying to make a superfood. I got nothing. So, but our ambulance driver comes back to see Rod Steiger because he wants more money. He's tired of getting beat up.
I like it that guy has hit him more than once. And that's happened to him twice.
Yeah, at least.
His boss is like, this is the second time you have been knocked unconscious and lost a body.
Yeah.
And he didn't kill that other guy, did he? He just like whacked him and unconscious?
Because we don't see him again. And if we were going to kill that guy, might as well cart him away and let's do experiments on him too. Let's double down.
Yeah, exactly. It's a twofer.
So we got this Goomba going to see Rod Steiger in his lab. And he's like, well, okay, I'll give you some more money, but you got to come this way. Follow me. And takes him. This is where the dungeon, like you said, they go downstairs. It is in the sub-basement of sub-basements.
Yeah. It's like Castle Freak level.
There are monkeys running around in cages.
Yeah. There's a brute man pounding on the chain link. I thought it was creepy. This is the first time when I was just like, man, I wish that this would get remastered because you can't really see what's going on down there. And that girl that comes up to the bars with all the, I guess it looks like suckers that are like stuff crawling around in her arms turning like an octopus.
Yeah, I mean, we see that later with the creature itself. But it does seem like it almost looked like maggots that were, like these are past experiments of people. If he's collected all these people and brought them to Rod Steiger. Yeah.
I mean, Rod Steiger is definitely molesting the girl with suckers on her arms. You know what I mean? He's completely no ethics for this guy.
Kind of cool and creepy. They trap this guy down here.
Yeah.
And just all of these messed up
failed experiments.
Yeah, failed experiments. Basically just pull him through the door of the gate to feast on him.
Yeah, it doesn't help that gate is coated in KY too, which
no, you can't hold on to it.
Is somebody just with like a paint roller just kind of slobbing on the, or is it just from the freaks leaning up against? I guess it's from the freaks leaning up against. Yeah.
I'm really sad that there's not any trivia on this movie. I want answers. I want more.
Yeah. I bet it'd be fun to make a movie like this.
Yes.
Can I just say, when I saw Brad is the other doctor, right?
Is he a doctor? I think he's an intern. The one that's trying to quit smoking? Yes.
Yeah, but you see him with a boombox.
I had the same exact boombox.
In the hospital.
Yes.
And at first I was like, okay, I mean, 87, I guess we still have boomboxes. I guess we do. But then it's playing classical music, and I was just like, oh my fucking God. This guy has not said a word, and I hate him. I hate him.
Let's not get confused, though, that this is not the hospital. We're back at the lab. We're back at the geneticist lab, where Rod Steiger is, where everybody works. So all these people work together, and we're just trying to set up all the characters in play.
That location is different than the hospital, you're saying?
Yes, that's what I was confused before, too.
That is confusing, because they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just white walls, and it might as well have been.
I'm sure they filmed it there, but I think it would have added a little bit more mystique if we had, like, this geneticist lab in the basement of a hospital. That would be awesome. But our guy, let me just stop you here and let's talk about Peter Frechette.
Frechette, yes.
Frechetti.
Yeah, that's good with a little like pesto on it, kind of. It's like a dry bread.
And I will say that a lot of these actors in this film, they have gone on to do bigger and better things.
I for sure recognized him immediately. He makes John Cryer seem masculine. You know what I mean? He's like I
love it.
He is, that type of, just picture John Cryer, that's him.
You got to have one goofball. You got to have one jock. You got to have a couple of good-looking chicks.
Yeah, he is like the nerd. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he had like weed. But he does have a thing, that he's trying to quit smoking,
Right.
I just watched the scene where he kissed Amanda Pays, and it looked like he was like scrunching his eyes up, pretending that she was anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of grabbing her neck too. I don't think he understands how kissing works.
And he mentions this later in a conversation.
Oh, he kissed her.
Kissing her was like kissing a dead fish is really what he kind of came off.
He said like a chilled shrimp.
Yeah, chilled shrimp. That's it.
And John Collins, the guy's like, what? And I was kind of the same way. I was like, who describes it like that? But then, he's the John Cryer, so. They're drinking Modelo, which I'm all about.
So we have to go back and at least explain to the audience that...
Yeah, it's your typical setup.
Rod Steiger goes to basically get some information because I think our guy, John, has told Rod Steiger that he's got to go back as Mom started talking about an experiment. And he's like, oh,
yeah.
She continued her experiment. Like maybe that they worked together at one time. Yes. And they had gone their separate ways, but she continued her experiment outside of his group.
Right.
Because she thinks he's
all
evil.
Of that is so like murky and unclear. The whoever's watching this is like, we get what's going on, but when you think any harder about it than it just being a horror movie trope, it just kind of falls apart.
Right.
He gives the weirdest laugh when John is, I think that talk, when he says something about Anthony, and he's like, huh, I mean, I guess he is hiding something, which is what it seems like, but he's got such weird, like, if that was my doctor, I mean, I guess he is like a,
If that was my geneticist.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you're meant to think that all those super, like their brains are just like going at a way different,
Yeah, different wavelength.
Yeah, but he's like autistic.
So Rod Steiger goes back to try to get information out of Mom and gives her a coronary and she dies.
He's basically doing everything but like shaking her by her like hospital gown. Yeah, he gets real intense with her.
It works. Mom's dead. There's a funeral, and that's when we meet Amanda Pays, right? At the funeral?
Yeah.
Which we don't find out until later that she is a plant from Rod Steiger to find out more information.
Yeah, she just tells the doctor that she's a fan of his mom's work or whatever. Which I don't know. How would you even... Well...
He's going through some grief, I guess. He doesn't show it, but...
Well, I'm just saying, like, how did she work with her? Or how did... I mean,
He obviously wasn't too close to his mom.
Right. Yeah.
Especially since, he's like, oh, well, now she's dead for real.
Yep. She's finally dead.
Now I've got to go clean up her house, and I'm inviting my entire crew from the geneticist lab, genetics lab, to come back and let's go find out what Mom was talking about. I want to find out who Anthony was.
Yeah, that's basically all there's this mysterious name, this mysterious Italian name. If it had just been like a, hairy guy, I don't know. Never mind. Delete that.
We get everybody back to the house. Well, a big plot point here, I guess. One of the girls who can't stay at the house because she says, and this is Bunky Jones, right?
Yeah.
Who says that her parents are having a 35th wedding anniversary. So she stops and buys a watermelon for him. Most giant watermelon I've ever seen.
That just, you couldn't even call it a plot point. Why did she go with them?
Because it was on her way to her parents' house? I don't know. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I know why she went out there, so we're lining up some fodder for the monster, Mm-hmm. But she really did have no purpose in being there.
No, she was the receptionist at the genetics lab.
I was thinking. And also, she's got plans.
Yeah.
Why did you have to be their fruit getter?
I don't know.
She's basically just a fruit getter at this point.
Fruit getter.
Okay, but the weird thing, that was so stupid because the John Cryer guy goes to cut into that thing later on, which it doesn't, I'm not familiar with that type of watermelon. It looks like a pod from Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Which basically it is. But we've got to set this up, though, that the dog that they take out there, when they find that the floor is rotting out on the front porch.
Right.
This is where I thought about the Boogans.
Right, yeah.
Because we have a tentacle thing that's kind of poking at the holes in the floor.
I love that part. Very Lovecraftian also with the, hidden unspeakable thing, and it's got tentacles, and it's Italian because he was like famously racist. It's all the Italians are going to steal our women and our dogs and our cantaloupe.
It's almost an identical type of scene from the Boogans when the dog starts barking at, whatever is down below, and it pulls the dog through.
Does anyone ever say, where's Biscuit at? Or, where's...
They do.
They do? Okay.
They were out in the yard later, and they're like, oh, he's just exploring.
Yeah, he's been exploring for 2 days now.
You're in a remote location.
They did not give a shit about that dog.
And they find him later in the barn.
Yeah, that was really weird too. That whole setup is weird. Let's put a lab where you're doing super important like fish experiments. Let's put it in a like 3-story rotting like psycho house that has a barn with like fresh hay, like they have horses and shit.
But then Amanda Pays, this is supposed to be somewhere near the coast because she's swimming in the ocean at some point.
That was stupid too. Like, there's an ocean around here?
And she says, well, I just had to go for my morning swim. It was a weird setup.
Yeah. I mean, you're already thinking, who the hell is this? And then it's like, that is stupid.
And she's somehow attracted to John.
I don't know. I think she's just kind of buttering him up for the hemocyanin or whatever.
She even says that she's like, well, you better lock your door because I might have to come, sneak into your room at night. He's like, well, be careful because my wife/girlfriend is a light sleeper.
And hates you. She said, I'm going to scratch her eyes out. Okay. Let's get to the
killing.
Old-timey 2-story house with futuristic fish lab in it.
This house is even bigger than Jamie Gumm's house.
And kind of trashier than his house, if you can imagine that.
It is very run down. And if they're running this off of a generator.
Oh, God. Yeah, dude. Something for sure like caught fire. But you're right, though. It looks a lot like the Silence of the Lambs house.
Just goes on and on.
Yeah. It's like a ranch, basically.
I think isn't the first person that's killed out of our group, is that not Bunky Jones?
Yes.
Because she set her big ass watermelon out. She tried to put it in the refrigerator for one.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Sideways.
Hang on a second. Okay. This is my main problem with this movie is the watermelon plot point. She brings a ridiculous looking watermelon ? It does not look like a watermelon. It looks like a fake, like a VeggieTales float or something that someone has made and like lacquered. Have you ever seen a watermelon that looks like that with those big like kind of like ridges on it?
No.
But she brings it into the house and the guy that looks like John Cryer grabs a giant knife and starts to cut into it, and she's like, no. What are you doing? Don't cut into that watermelon. And it's like, why did you even bring it into the house if people weren't going to eat it?
Well, she was trying to put it in the refrigerator, but then it wouldn't fit in the refrigerator because she was trying to stick it in there sideways when it was like the broom handle, in the doorway. You got it side. You can't.
Yeah, I see. If you tried to.
It was silly. So she puts it on the back porch on top of the deep freeze.
Yeah. But then he tries to cut into it and she's like, no, you idiot. Go get the cantaloupes. Where are the fucking cantaloupes at?
I never saw the cantaloupes, but this was all just because she's taking this watermelon, this huge ass watermelon, to her parents' house for their 35th wedding anniversary. They made a joke about it too. I didn't know that 35 was watermelon.
Oh, God. I guess it is.
She's the only character that has a backstory.
Yes. If she's only there to get lined up to be killed by a tentacle thing, then they picked the weirdest, like, contrived way to do it with the fruit. So weird.
So the jock of the group is infatuated with her.
Yes, I guess.
I think he's in love with every chick, right? I think at the end, he's like getting close to making out with the blonde chick.
Yeah, he's that silent guy. I mean, silent in this because he cannot act, but like he's super good looking and tan. He only has like 2 lines. And he's basically serving the same purpose. Is he even a nurse or what? I don't even know what he does.
No, he's probably the janitor. So we've got the receptionist. We might as well have the janitor there on this group.
Yeah.
No, he was the one that was mocking John Cryer because he...
Of the cigarette thing. Or
the cigarette thing.
Yeah.
John Cryer sets the boombox down there and pushes play that is speaking for him, saying, I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm not talking to anybody. And he starts to say something, and John Cryer motions to him, and the tape says, this includes you.
Just want to step into the movie with a baseball bat and just destroy his boombox and then kill him.
So Bunky Jones puts the watermelon on the front porch, in which we see the tentacle thing start poking at the watermelon.
Oh, okay. That makes way more
sense.
If
John Cryer would have cut the watermelon, he probably would have killed the creature and saved her life. But no, she had to save the damn watermelon.
It'd be like Richard Dicehart in The Thing, and it just fucking swallows his hand.
Yeah. But I loved that kill, by the way. So she puts the watermelon in the back seat of the car, and she's driving to her parents' house on the same dark stretch of highway that there are no cars around.
Nope.
And this tentacled monster thing comes out of the watermelon.
Yeah.
I love this creature.
Yes.
Okay.
Very Aliens, very, also very Evil Dead, like the tree.
The size of this thing coming out of the watermelon is just
bigger than the watermelon itself. Yeah. I do like it, though. It does look like kind of like a face hugger a little bit.
The shape of the head reminds me of the alien, or at least the alien in Spaceballs when it's, singing. That
is exactly, especially later on when Amanda Pays has that little bit of stuff where, she's trying to get it to go back in the canister. That looked that was reminding me of Spaceballs too.
That freaking jar, the specimen jar,
oh my God,
and she's fighting with it so hard.
That was cracking me up. And it's like mashing its little head. It's like, ow, ow, ow. What the fuck are you doing? That was making me laugh. And that scene went on for a couple of minutes. Like she just could not get that thing in there.
I mean, it's a jump scare that we all expected. Yeah. So she takes the lid off of it and she's looking at the water and the specimen starts moving and she's like, oh, this is cute.
Everybody's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, this isn't going to try to kill me at all. It's way too cute.
Yeah. Didn't you see it? I put a little hat on it.
So the Bunky Jones's death, though, when the tentacles wrap around her neck, wrap around her foot, and not allowing her to slow the car down, but somehow letting the car speed up. I don't know.
She's driving barefoot, by the way.
Which I'm fine with.
I've driven barefoot before. It's just kind of weird. I guess probably women do it more than men, maybe because of their footwear. I don't know.
Well, if they didn't have to wear high heels in horror movies.
I mean, I'm just saying, I guess like where were her keds or whatever she should be wearing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm just at the scene now where Amanda Pays is getting ready to kiss John Cryer.
Oh, it's hilarious. It does not look like a human kissing another human.
I do like her.
Oh, for sure. She's a good actress. I really like her. But that scene, it's like cut, and he's like, just like, ew, gross. She gets attacked by a tentacle monster and crashes into like a little reservoir or something. We assume she's dead because she never reappears again.
But again, with these tentacles, with the sharp claw on the tentacles.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Makes me really think about the Boogans.
Uh-huh.
The way that the tentacle goes into her mouth.
Yeah.
And then the one starts going in through her ear.
Right.
And then a tentacle goes up her nose.
Yeah.
But the stretching of the skin underneath her. Oh, man, I loved it.
Yeah.
I laughed, but I loved it.
It's that, like, they reverse the film, and it is very much like the Evil Dead tree scene.
Yes. I absolutely love that.
The special effects are the only thing that, I mean, I assume that is what was bringing me back to rent this 20 times, is because it had really good creature effects.
Hey, freaksters and freakettes. It's Tim from the Moratorium. Do you like the sweet sounds of our witty banter in your ears every week? Well, head on over to our Patreon, and for only $3 a month, you can get even more. In the director's cuts of our movie episodes. On average, that's 20 minutes more of our wisecracking, jive-talking, and lip-flapping laughter straight to your ear holes. Go to themoratorium.com and click on our Patreon link, and you'll find 5 awesome tiers with tons of goodies. You can also find our Teespring link on the website for even more awesome merch. Thank you for your support. Now on with the show. So directly after that, we jump cut to the next morning when Amanda Pays said she was going for her morning swim.
Yeah.
Now, when you see what she turns into later, that does kind of explain why she was wanting to get into the water.
Right. Yeah, she covers up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. How did he find her?
Yeah, and also...
Because he was looking for the dog, maybe?
Oh, I guess. His girlfriend is back at the house, though. She's right to be suspicious of them because they are acting very weird.
Yes. So Amanda Pays' backstory, though, was she a failed experiment of Rod Steiger? Was she a successful experiment, but she needs more drugs to keep her more human and not turning into the fish creature that she actually is?
But in that case, then she should be like the sister to Anthony and John. Well, I guess it depends on where she got the genetic material from. And
that makes that whole dichotomy with their relationship a little
even weirder.
weird.
Yeah. That's your sister, dude. It's your fish sister. You just kissed your fish sister.
Your fish sister wants to sneak into your bed at night.
Dude, your fish sister's hot. Now, if you think of it like that, there's a weird dynamic going between, John's thinking maybe, the number 3 is the magic number, Again, he's dumb. Every time he's got to make a decision or something, he's just like,
He instructs everybody to try to find some information. I need you to find out about the fish gene. I need you to find out something about Anthony. You all report back to me. And I guess Mom just had volumes and volumes of books and notes and shit on these failed experiments.
Yeah, it's like, well, can we stay in the same room and do that? No, we've got to split up like fucking Scooby-Doo.
So our big jock dude, our silent jock dude.
Silent jock bro. We'll just call him Bro.
So Bro goes to the barn for what reason? Unknown.
Unknown reason. He got his orders from the other guy. He's like, I guess I'll go out here.
He's like, but I'm not a scientist. I'm the janitor. And you're like, all right, well.
Go find a mop or something. Mop up all that shit that Amanda just spilled in the other room onto the wooden floors.
That may or may not come directly from her.
Yeah. That guy's name is Hart. Hart. I mean, his character's name.
His character name is Hart.
Yeah.
Huh.
I hate it when, I think we just talked about this, where they give the cast members weird names that maybe are like personal to the director or the writer that we have no connection with. But then when they make them weird, like Hart, it just makes you think more about his name than what's going on.
Yeah.
Just name him Steve or something. Nobody
Oh, right.
cares.
So Hart was in Goldie and the Boxer Go to Hollywood.
Is that a porno?
Yeah, it sounds like it. He was one of the main characters in 34 episodes of Father Murphy.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think that is where I recognize him from.
Oh, you would. He's really young in that.
It would be easy to get him confused with a lot of the other guys from this time.
Mhm.
Like we were talking about Spiker, you know, the volleyball movie.
Right.
That movie has a ton of just interchangeable, like, tan guys without their shirts on, and they could all be the same person.
So, again, with our audience, if they want to look up Father Murphy, Father Murphy was played by none other than Merlin Olsen.
Oh,
who I've heard is a lousy butler.
yeah. He is not a lousy butler. Oh, Benton.
Oh.
We barely knew you.
Reference number 82 of Mitchell in this podcast today.
He can't wear yellow either.
Well, Timothy Gibbs, I got to keep telling you here. Timothy Gibbs, he was in Witchboard 2.
Okay. I don't think I saw part 2.
I don't remember.
I absolutely loved, and not just because she did somersaults over Mercedes in a Whitesnake video, absolutely loved Tawny Katane.
Yes.
Get that out of the way.
There you go.
Okay.
He goes into the barn.
Stud Muffin's going to the barn.
Just to get attacked by this creature. Right? He finds the dog, which I don't know, why didn't the dog should have been eaten? I mean...
Unless it's like the watermelon where it's like planting eggs or something. But then again, you don't ever see that happen. I mean...
Did they not say something in the exposition that there were 3 experiments, or it was like Anthony number 4?
Right.
But we didn't talk about Anthony 36.
Okay. Yeah, because there are multiple...
Because there are way more of these creatures than we've let on.
Okay, hang on a second. Now that you said numbers, that just reminded me, this is so... I don't want to derail this, and we need to move on, but why did John Cryer's lab coat say...
Yeah.
Why did it have, like, soccer... Like, his name and numbers on the back? Was that meant to be funny?
I didn't get the reference.
Okay. I'm sorry I brought it up.
No. That's
like most things that I
this
say.
Is stuff that needs to be in the trivia on IMDb that
You're
does
right.
not exist.
We're like laxative. We're gentle but thorough.
And kind of the
Okay.
same consistency, just loose.
Yeah, kind of like a loose. Okay.
Wow.
So, yes.
So Hart gets attacked by this creature and he runs back to the house. It's exactly what you want to do with a neck wound, though. You really want to run to get your blood pumping.
Get your heart rate up.
At 42 is where he gets attacked. The monster kind of throws a fit.
Yeah. He's like, I can't believe you fell for it.
Well, he was looking at the slime that it was left behind, and it actually does kind of a Children of the Corn, crawl underneath the hay.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank God there is a scythe handy.
Yeah.
He like leans a foot back and be like,
Yep.
That was really serendipitous that thing was just sitting there.
But when he's running back, you don't see the barn in the distance whatsoever. He's like, this barn must have been a mile away.
They look like they're on the Spawn Ranch, basically. It's all dilapidated. And
being a secluded farmhouse and still being oceanside.
Yeah.
This is prime territory. This is a realtor's dream.
Yeah.
So immediately Amanda Pays sees Hart and tells them that you got attacked by a dog. She knows what's going on. She's telling him to lie immediately.
Yeah. So right after that scene, she finds that little lab. I mean, not right after. They take the guy to the hospital. The kind of smug doctor tells them that he's got high levels of hemo whatever, the MacGuffin, and that's it. I don't need to see any more of that. But she finds a secret lab, like, in a...
behind a hanger of clothes.
Yeah, it's basically Hollyfeld's little lair in Real Genius.
Yeah.
Where he's filling out all of the Frito-Lay prize things.
I want to know something real quick, though, because if this was John's childhood home, we can assume that they've been in this house forever.
Okay.
He should have known every inch of this house,
right.
including the death chamber behind the closet door.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Which she finds a book that has like lots of weird scribbles in it and stuff. And I like that type of thing. It is kind of Evil Dead-ish. It has some like, drawings, designs in it. But
absolutely goes nowhere.
Nowhere, really.
It doesn't tell us anything. I love these specimen jars.
Yeah, they're like little pickled fetuses.
And when the fetus turns around and looks at it, it looks like it has an overbite. So it's just like,
It's cute, kind of.
Uh-huh.
Cute in the way that, like, Danny DeVito is cute. Like, so ugly it's cute.
And they did a good job animating this creature, though, as it's popping out, its arms are flailing about.
I like it.
It helps that it has that squealing, screeching, monstrous sounds behind
this
it.
Scene, I don't think they meant for that to be funny, but it is so fucking funny.
I love it.
It also looks kind of like the little things in the gate, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you feel sorry for it. When she chops its arm off with the lid, you kind of feel sorry for it. You're like, you bitch.
Yeah. It does. Like a little action figure arm pops off. The special effects are definitely the only thing keeping my interest at this point. Rod Steiger is so weird. I know I've said that a lot, but he basically is like the, is it Milton from Office Space?
Yeah, he's looking for his stapler. That's all he was doing. That has to be a hairpiece, right?
Oh, it for sure. But it is like the worst. That's worse than Shatner's rags that he's got a rug.
So this is the little scene where Amanda Pays goes back to talk to Rod Steiger.
Yeah, does she drive all the way back into town to talk to Rod Steiger?
Yeah, she takes that specimen so he can play around with it. Here's your Anthony. Here's what you were wanting. Now I need harder drugs because I'm not sleeping. I'm feeling very fishy lately.
Mm-hmm. I stink.
I can't kiss anybody.
Yep.
I got fish lips. But that just sets up that he's working on drugs as well. I think he's not sleeping either. He doesn't have any other place to be except for this lab.
Right.
He lives in the lab.
Yeah. And where that lab is in relation to the hospital or this house.
Yeah.
Completely unclear.
And it seems like she got there pretty quick, but it took forever to get there.
Like quick enough that they didn't notice her leaving.
Right.
Also, I'm not positive about this, but it is day and night. So many.
Oh, yeah. They've been here for months.
They've either been there for weeks or a day. I couldn't tell you which one. So everybody's split up. It's at night. Him and John Cryer have that weird talk about the gas and the generator.
Well, the generator goes out because it runs out of gas. And he's just like, well, I'll just go siphon it out of the car because...
Yeah, but dumbass, that's how we're getting back into town. I mean, I guess he realizes that, but I mean, I don't know if he does or not. That thing needs gas to run. That whole generator thing. Does the power ever go off? Are they ever like plunged into darkness or anything?
Well, they are right now when he's trying to get gas out of the car. But the whole exchange between John and John Cryer
is he thinks he's like hitting on Amanda Pays and
But no, he was like, well, did you take the car into town because it was full of gas yesterday and it's almost empty today?
Right.
And yet he is siphoning the rest of the gas out of the car.
Right. Is he implying that someone else besides the two of them, the monster, siphoned the gas?
No. What he was trying to find out, that Amanda Pays is the one who stole the car to take the specimen to Rod Steiger.
Oh, okay.
So that's where that setup is.
How she left without anyone seeing is very weird.
Or, in this secluded place, nobody hears a car start up and drive away.
Exactly.
But this also triggers a memory with John, thinking that he remembers his mom taking a bit of his tissue.
Yeah, genetic material or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, well, she did take some of my genetic material, but I don't see how that's important. Well, it is.
For some reason, they go back to talk to the doctor, and he had a jar of this fish goop.
Yeah.
That supposedly he got from Hart.
Yes.
It's unnecessary, but they were really trying to tie this together, that the fish goop and John's blood are of the same makeup.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Also, when he was at the hospital with Hart, the doctor said that there was like a, elevated or like a strange, chemical inside of him. And John's basically like, well, can I have some?
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't. No, not even if you're a doctor, I'm not giving you any of that.
They run into the lab, and he's like looking at a slide of.
Yeah, he cuts his hand, like in the thing, and he's comparing it.
I'm just telling you, they're in this looking at the specimen in darkness. There is no electricity because you didn't let John Cryer put gas back in the generator.
Exactly.
Which also allows for the creepy thunderstorm, the lightning.
Oh, yeah.
I've got something to say about that later, because when they're in the basement where this creature is, there is still the lightning flashes.
Yeah. Is the entire roof just see-through or just glass or something? They're just working by moonlight. This scene made me laugh. When he goes out to get in the car, John Cryer, and the monster starts like picking it up, that made me laugh a lot. It looks like the monster is like doing reps with it or something.
Yeah.
It's taking it forever to knock over that thing.
But he runs out and says, I'll get the car. Well, what are you getting the car for? Nobody else is running out with you.
Yeah.
It's not like you're pulling it up. It's right outside the front door.
Yeah. Also, you screamed mommy when you left. I'm not accusing you of anything, but it kind of looks like you were going to drive off and leave us here.
Back at the hospital when Hart wakes up finally.
Oh my God. There's like a Marx Brothers like skit going on. Him like running down the hall.
Absolutely hilarious.
It is funny.
He's in his whitey tighties and a gown. I guess for some reason he put on some jeans like really, really fast.
Please.
He just wakes up from, I guess, a coma and is sprinting down the hallway.
Yes.
And when he grabs that stretcher and like does this maneuver to thwart being chased.
That depends so much on the flippy as it does the flipper, Those guys were helping him out a little bit.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, he wants to do that. I'll play along.
They both fall down like that. It was just greased sidewalk.
Yes.
So he jumps into the ambulance and just tears off through the yard.
Yeah, knocks over a sign.
My problem with this is that he drives back to this house that he has been to one time.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And somehow finds his way back.
I think he has fish sense now. He can just tell where the hemocybilin or whatever is.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
Yep.
There's a whole confrontation with Amanda Pays and where she's holding a freaking Harpoon gun?
It looks like a mixture between a harpoon gun and like Batman's like grappling hook, sort of. Yeah. It's like a little mini harpoon gun, which I wouldn't mind having.
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I could definitely fetch a beer.
Oh my God. Just kind of drag it to you, leaking out.
But she gets attacked through the window.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
By this tentacled beast. And this does look like an octopus arm or whatever, you know. But they cut, I don't know what they grab, and they start cutting at this tentacle. Yeah. And that's our first spray of goop. Yes. You know, they aimed it right towards the girls.
They sure did. They just
super soaked them with goop.
Yeah, right in their faces. It even like strafes them and then corrects so it could be more at their faces. Some sadistic special effects guy that's doing that too.
So after she's attacked by this thing, they grab her and they take her into a room, and she's starting to do her transformation.
Yep.
I love these effects.
Pretty legit. I mean, very gross.
She forms like gills on her neck and on her stomach.
And her stomach.
The cheapest thing is when it sucks her earlobes into her skull.
Yeah. And that grossed me out too. I was like, so she has a pretty awesome fish transformation. Just a fish wearing a bra.
Well, she turns kind of, pale and green.
She has like webbed fingers all of a sudden. And
it's awesome. Her face changes. Her nose is kind of missing. She's got protrusions through her forehead. Yeah, I love it.
Brad is doing some real like overacting when he I guess that kind of fires Anthony up a little bit because he slips a tentacle in through the whatever that little door is.
Through the vent. They pour Drano on it then, right?
I mean, like salt, maybe I would think, like sodium or something.
Yeah, I would get that. Well, I don't know that is Drano that corrosive that
I don't think so. I mean, it tells you to kind of like rub it gently. I mean, oh wait, no, I'm thinking of like a barkeeper's friend or whatever. Right. Let's spend about 30 minutes talking about like various cleansers and toilet chemicals.
I'm really fond of Comet.
Yeah, I like Comet too.
So they're all trying to escape the house, and
John's third wheel wife just fucking plummets through when it shows her falling down, that is a cavernous.
Yeah, she is spelunking.
Yeah, big time. It also kind of looks like a phenomena a little bit when she gets dumped into that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Maggot pool.
Yeah, so she falls a good 50 feet down through the floor of
at least 50
the back
feet.
Porch. Yeah.
Which that's kind of cool if you think about like Anthony just like hanging out down there and like making it bigger and
again, this kind of reminds me of the Boogans.
Yeah, subterranean.
And they try to pull up with a rope with a tiny little flashlight attached to it.
Again, kind of like Silence of the Lambs. Yeah.
I kind of wish they could have shown this area better, because the walls are pulsating and slimy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when it's like, oh, can we just get that DVD? Can we just get this thing remastered so we can actually see things?
Because she's in this pit. Mm-hmm. And the only light we see now is the lightning strikes. This is what I was talking about. That how is it illuminating this area?
There's a like a explosion sound that's just a classic. Like, I mean, it literally sounds like Wile E. Coyote like falling off a cliff or something. And they just kind of put it in. It's kind of like the trailer. If you watch the trailer for this. It's not like a Wilhelm scream, but it's very similar. They just keep on putting in this like kind of like a cougar noise, like a
Yeah.
I don't know that fish make a noise, even when they're out of the water.
Well, this is a fish monster, though.
I guess you're right. I guess it's part Italian too. Italians are loud. I don't know. Cut all that out.
they find this tunnel. So he goes down to try to save her because she can't hold on to a damn rope to be pulled out.
Yeah.
So John goes down. The fish beast grabs onto her. Mm-hmm. And he just happens to have the harpoon gun
he
like
brought
on
the
his
harpoon
hip.
gun with him.
Oh, man.
Quick draw with that thing.
He shoots it. It dives under the water, which is all of 2.5 foot deep.
It's like, I can still see you.
You're still there.
See your butt.
So they find a little cavern trail that kind of goes, I don't know, through a tunnel.
Yeah.
And they start crawling off. In the meantime, up top, the porch caves in even more, and we lose another character down this pit.
Yeah.
When did Hart make it back? Is that at this point that Hart comes back to save him?
He just ran in.
Yeah. And then she gets lost. They did a piss poor job of holding on to her.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone held on to the girl at the beginning, a cliffhanger better than they held on to this girl.
Yeah. I think John is a little like,
Yep.
oh no, and also maybe that means he's kind of into fish Amanda pays, he's like, whoa, wonder what we could do here.
So, but I don't know how they come out that. So John and his wife / girlfriend were climbing through the tunnel and came out somehow in the house.
Well, it shows them pop out of that same little, like, if it was in any other part of the house, it would look like a dumbwaiter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's like a laundry chute if you really wanted to, but then it's like,
okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to send my laundry 60 feet down into a giant pool.
That kind of makes sense because he mentions the laundry chute that he went down as a kid. I remember that line.
Okay.
So he did grow up in this house and he should know everything about this house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, I think John's kind of dumb.
Yeah. But he does say, well, we can calm this creature down because of his mom singing this lullaby or whatever, right?
Right. Which the lullaby is like so stupid. I guess you're right. It is like it's his mother's voice kind of lulling him to sleep. But it's like, la, 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 la. Just there's not even words
like singing
to
the
it.
Banana Splits theme.
Yes. Oh my God. How does that go?
La, 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 la. I can't sing the rest of it. We have to pay for it.
I loved that show. Anyway, still haven't watched the horror movie remake.
We're going to have to, but then watch Willy's Wonderland directly afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question here, though, because they were playing that music on the boombox, which I guess the boombox was battery operated, but did he not have like a PA system that he hooked it up to so it's echoing through? There's no electricity in the house.
No, there isn't.
I just wanted to bring that up.
He did have an Evil Dead setup with like kind of a real thing, but yeah, no electricity.
So at this point, when they're trying to get away and Rod Steiger shows back up.
Yep. Like, how can we make this plot even more weird and complicated?
Mm-hmm.
He's brought a harpoon to the show. So my question is, that is a weapon. I'm sorry, it's not a weapon. I mean, it is in the same way that like a nail gun is a weapon in certain movies, like Lethal Weapon, but it's for hauling things onto a boat.
Yeah, so because this is a seaside.
I guess you're right. Maybe it's just normal.
We have not seen a boathouse. We have not seen a boat. We have not seen any part of the ocean except for Amanda Pays being in it.
Yeah, I don't know. So they have, I guess what you think is kind of the big battle. Pick any big battle. That's what this is. The thing is there rising up out of the floor. Got a couple of harpoon guns. Is it just by chance that it has the electrical cord in its mouth?
Well, no, they put some meat on it. Now, where did they get this meat? I have no idea. Exactly. Now, yeah, it was very strange. It's like all of a sudden they have part of the dog or something that they
my God.
put these loose electrical cords to that they just happen to have.
If they just put like a Cocker Spaniel's leg on the electrical cord.
And they threw it out for the monster to get a hold of, and it's immediately like, oh, food, and shoves it in his mouth.
Right. Yeah.
Rod Steiger shoots the harpoon gun at the electrical box to short circuit it.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Brad is doing something else with it's basically like putting a penny in the fuse box or something.
They throw the switch and start electrocuting the beast.
Yeah.
And it starts just exploding and throwing goop everywhere.
It's like one of those old water willies that you hook up your garden hose to, but it's just full of the stuff from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
It's like colored KY.
It is nastiness just going everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to make sense of it because the monster being electrocuted starts devolving into a human.
Yeah, right. That is his twin.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like him, except with
a better
hair
looking
conditioner all over. Yeah, right. I mean, really, that part is pretty rad. It looks like Pizza the Hut kind of at the very end.
Yeah, it starts pulling at the wires and it's just kind of pulling the layers away.
I thought that part was kind of cool where it's trying to get that wire out of itself and it's that was very gross.
The goop just pouring off of Rod Steiger's
he has such a weird reaction to it. He kind of screams like a hysterical scream.
Oh my God.
He's so bad.
Rod Steiger's pulled down into the basement, the sub-basement, the cellar, whatever. And all of a sudden it's morning.
Yeah. Hard to tell.
Well, it's light outside. Hart's on top, sitting on top of the ambulance, just lounging out there. John Cryer goes down and finds the freaking hidden room.
Right.
With all the little Anthonys. There's dozens of little Anthonys.
Get the fuck out of that house. I would not be anywhere near that house.
But he sees the freaking tanks. There happens to be propane tanks.
Right. There always has to be something to explode. Some type of
fuel tanks of some sort.
Flammable, combustible substance. And
so he's throwing these tanks in there and has some black gunpowder that he spreads from the room with all the Anthonys. And this is...
I mean, frankly, I don't think John Cryer is capable of that type of MacGyvering something,
Exactly. He makes the trail of the gunpowder, lights his last cigarette, and lays it on top of the gunpowder for it to be a delayed fuse.
I do like those things flying at him and attaching to his back. That kind of creeped me out.
He was smart to ram his back against the wall. And if you can see, that wall moves a little bit. I
saw it.
So John Cryer sets the trap and he's running out. The house is going to blow. But John has gone back into the house.
Yeah, like an idiot.
But finds the girl climbing out. The girl that was lost and in the sub-basement cellar dwelling goop for the last 12 hours.
Now, wait a minute. Is that his? Oh, you mean the girl from Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah.
No one's very concerned about her.
No, they forgot about her.
She didn't have a boyfriend to be concerned about. Well, a Hart, I guess. Hart's her boyfriend.
Yeah, Hart wants a piece of it, which I think she mentioned before that they had a fling or something in college.
Right. I do enjoy his scene where that gadget does light his cigarette finally. I feel okay about it.
You do? Okay.
Yep.
They barely escape the house before it just explodes and flames are going up and...
Yeah.
And then you see the many little Anthonys inside just kind of screaming and kind of looks like a whack-a-mole. They're kind of dancing a little bit. Really and truthfully, so we have 5 final girls here.
Yeah, and John Cryer's one of them.
most of them were unnecessary. You could have left the girl down in the basement.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, we've already moved on. I mean, for them to introduce I guess maybe you're supposed to breathe a sigh of relief. Like, oh, well, at least they got her out. But it's like, I could have given a shit either way. Put Hart back in there. I don't care. Hart did more.
He brought the car back to him. That's all he did. That's all he was there for. He gave them another way out because the beast bench pressed the car into flipping it over. Yeah.
Slowly, ever so slowly. And after that, I think Brad is my favorite character. If I really had to name one. I kind of liked his last 15 minutes of acting in this movie.
Especially in the car when they're driving away. And he's just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, we fucking did it, guys.
Hey, we're alive.
Wow. I mean, that's it.
That's it.
You see a journal burning, and they kind of closed in on Hart a little bit. And I thought, oh, well, he's sort of like got that stuff, maybe he'll be the next,
Well, in that sense, too, yeah, Hart and Brad, they've both been attacked.
They've both lain with the fish thing.
Mm-hmm. I thought this was more of a well-known movie growing up. I remember this. I remember when it came out. I don't remember seeing it at the theater. I don't think I did.
No, it was definitely a rental for me, but I was ready for it, having read about it in Fangoria and stuff.
And IMDb states that it did make about $2.5 million.
Wow,
$2,400,000. So really low grossing movie.
Yeah. I mean, 87 for horror movies. It was up against some pretty stiff competition.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Evil Dead 2, Witches of Eastwick, Hellraiser, The Lost Boys, Prince of Darkness.
All 1987?
Yep.
Really?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Monster Squad, if I didn't say that already. So,
it had a lot of...
You're watching a lot of movies before you're like, I guess I'll give this one a try.
Mm-hmm. So 1984 was our big year, I think, that we really love movies. But I think 87's got a close second here. Those are some good movies.
Well, Lost Boys. The hype for Lost Boys was at a fever pitch when I went to see it, and I was not disappointed.
So the tagline on the box art is, Anthony didn't ask to be brought into this world. ...
An ellipsis. That really gets you going.
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't have the same gravity if it was Tony. Tony wants you to come into the basement and look at his tentacle. I apologize to everyone for that.
So for monster movies, though, this was fun. I like you said, it was a total ripoff of many other films.
Yeah.
But the special effects were pretty good.
Solid.
I enjoyed it.
Yep. I did too.
Yeah. So we did it.
We did it. We conquered the Kindred.
We watched a movie.
No thanks to Rod Steiger. Man. And now I've seen his butt. Ooh, that's the real horror in this. I'd probably like it just as much as I did back then.
I enjoyed watching this more, I think, now. I think I appreciate it more now than I did back then.
Well, yeah, and you compare it to other movies that have tried to kind of get, have that same... A lot of things have to kind of combine to make it just right, And it managed to do that.
I dig the little creature. I wouldn't mind actually... Can you give me a plush...
Ooh, a plushie?
Kindred creature?
Yes.
A plushie of the Kindred. That would be awesome.
For sure. For sure. Your little Anthony.
Little Anthony. All right, Jason. Let's wrap this bitch up. What do you say?
Alrighty.
Why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
We are at themoratorium.com.
Moratorium.com, where you can find everything that we've covered. I've got a link to every movie that we've put in the Goratorium, a lot of extras. I just put up the Riccio, the Wall of Hell, and the Child of Destruction. You can find links to those. Not all of these are links to the movies themselves. Some of them you do have to pay for, but I have not updated those to check and see if they are available for free.
You guys are adults. You know how the internet works.
Well, or 12-year-olds. We're not sure who our audience is. We would love for you to chime in and tell us who you are, where you're from. People, our audience in Belgium, please reach out to us. I want to know who you are, because we've got a great following in Belgium, and I don't know why. Tell me why you listen to our show and what we can do to make it better.
And what can we do to get some of those delicious Belgian waffles? Will you send them to us frozen?
Is there a Belgian waffle farm? Are they grown?
Is it a bush? Is it some type of bush?
Let's make sure and tell our audience how much we appreciate them, and then quickly just throw it back in their faces.
Yeah, make fun of their culture, their way of life. It's all in good fun. It's all good-natured ribbon.
Ribbon's racing.
Ribbon is racing. Can we get that on a t-shirt? We just came up with it.
All right, guys. Well, we'll continue to bring you this awesome, fun banter about all the movies that we love and we love to hate. But this does come out of small cost. And if you want to help support us, you can go to our Patreon. There is a link on our website at themoratorium.com. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support us. If you want to give us $3 a month,
that would be...
I will give you some extra stuff. I have all sorts of goodies that I've been working on. I'm going to get some pictures taken of them and put them up on our Patreon page so you can see exactly what you're getting. But if you want to give us $3 a month, I will give you the extra long director's cuts of our movie episodes. That's right. The episode that you're listening to right now, I'm probably going to cut 20 to 30 minutes out of this. If you want to listen to that, just pony up a few bills and you can get it straight to your ear holes.
It seems like a lot of value for not a lot.
Not a lot. That's like what did we say? That was like 2 or 3 cigarettes will bring you all this entertainment.
Yep.
My cigarettes are what, $3 a piece, something like that?
Yeah.
A cigarette, right?
Right. We've already proven that cigarettes can kill monsters.
Yes.
They
here.
Just did.
They were an integral part of the trap of killing this monster.
They would have all been dead.
Yeah. They should have left long time before, and they would still all be alive.
They lingered a long time at that house.
Mm-hmm. They did that jump scare of the sink and the water coming up in the sink,
God.
and the bubbling, and she just leaning over the sink, just asking for it to attack her.
Co-conspirator at that point. She wanted it to happen. She's like, take me. My husband hates me.
This is the only way I can get out of this relationship.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap up this show.
Okay.
Remember to like, share, subscribe to everything, all our social medias. Our YouTube channel. Email us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you want to hear. We will most likely make fun of you in every aspect.
In a gentle way.
All right, let's wrap this bitch up, Jason.
All right.
You have anything else to add?
Nope, I don't.
All right. Podcat, got anything to add?
Oh, he had some bad milk. All right.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to The Moratorium, an MT Cornfield production. Hey, listen up. We want to hear from you. Drop a line at moviemoratorium@gmail.com and tell us who you are. Tell us how you found us. Tell us what we did wrong. Hell, tell us what we did right. Tell us what cup size you are. We want to know who the hell we're talking to. And we'll keep pimping out this show for you every week. Thanks for listening, And long live VHS.
You just kissed your fish sister.
Your fish sister wants to sneak into your bed at night.
Dude, your fish sister's hot.